Mailbag time here on the Cleveland Browns Report. We've got a lot of questions to answer going into the first game of the 2023 NFL season for the Browns against the Cincinnati Bengals. And so we start things off with a super chat question coming in from Chef Ruben. I won't scream it like Chef wants me to, but how many sacks are we going to get on Burrow? Give me 4 sacks, actually. Give me 4 sacks. We're going to get 2 sacks from Myles Garrett, 1 sack from Za'Darius Smith, and give me a half sack between Dalvin Tomlinson and Shelby Harris. Boom. Those are 4 sacks right there. Give me 4. John Smith, this is a really nice super chat we'll throw on screen really quickly. But on behalf of all the amazing Browns fans here today, we're doing the show during our live show, which airs every Tuesday at 5 o'clock Eastern. We thank you for your passion and fabulous show. John, shout out to you. Everyone type Go Browns in the comment section for John. All right, James, next one up. Are we getting Chris Jones or no? No. I do not see a Chris Jones trade happening. I know that all the contract restructures clears cap space for it, but all it does is it clears cap space for 2023, right? All the contract restructures raise future cap hits. Now, the Browns are going to roll all this money over, so that money rolled over, plus the increase in the cap is actually going to reduce the players' cap hits. I know it sounds a bit strange, but Andrew Berry's got the money to spend because he's a rich owner like Jimmy Haslam, who goes, hey, we're not cutting these players on the last year of their deal. So you can restructure them, backload the contracts, and I'm happy paying them out. I'm not a cheap SOB that wants to cut guys the moment all their guaranteed money is up. So I know that the restructures paved the way for it, but I'd be blown away if the Browns got Chris Jones. Skyline Chili sucks. What is your Browns versus Bengals score prediction? Okay. I feel like score predictions change a million times before kickoff. But at this present moment, Tuesday afternoon, give me Browns 30, Bengals 24. But let me know what your score predictions are. Browns versus Bengals. Chime in down in the comment section. Cincinnati coming to Cleveland. Who you got by how much? I'll take the Brownies by 6, 30-24. Depressed Browns fan, what's going on, dude? Will Dorian Thompson-Robinson be good enough if Watson goes down? The Browns added P.J. Walker to their practice squad, and he'll be activated on game days. Now, just so you guys know, when you activate that practice squad quarterback, if your starter gets hurt, you can't put the emergency QB in. Both quarterbacks on the roster have to be medically ruled out of the game for that emergency QB to come in. So don't think like maybe they'll go to P.J. Walker because he's got more experience. DTR is the backup. If something happens to Watson, he is the only guy able to go in until he gets hurt, and then P.J. Walker could come in. But will he be good enough? We'll find out. He looked great in the preseason against a lot of backups. I can't tell you one way or another how that's going to translate to starting players, but he was making very good throws that it doesn't matter who was on the field. He put the ball where it needed to be, on time, on the money. So I think Dorian Thompson-Robinson definitely showcased a lot of trust for the Browns to believe in him if he has to go into the game at some point. Jacob, next one up. What do you think of Denzel Ward on possible retirement after 4 concussions? Well, like I said, we're filming this on Tuesday, so I don't quite know his game status at the moment. But I do think there are, some reasoning to believe that maybe Denzel Ward could possibly hang it up. 4 concussions in, 5 years now? 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Okay, 6 years, I guess. Yeah, I don't think you're Jacob. I don't think you're crazy for thinking of this. I think the counter side will be there's $50 million waiting for Denzel Ward if he does not retire. So are we going to see him put his body through the tests and through the limits for $50 million, or will Denzel Ward be happy with the money that he has collected so far and walk away a little bit like Andrew Luck did? And no one saw Andrew Luck retiring. What do I think of it? I think it's got a chance. I don't think it's a high chance. But I think it's greater than non-zero. I'm not going to say, for selfish reasons, Denzel Ward must stay, right? If Denzel Ward is tired of having scrambled eggs for brain because he keeps getting concussions, by all means, he's got the right to go walk away from the game, and I'm not going to be mad at him for that. But, of course, for our own selfish reasons, I want Denzel Ward to be healthy and then play for the Browns. Peter, next one up. What do you think the first 5 to 10 games look like record-wise? All right, Peter, good question. First game against the Bengals, you've got first game against the Bengals, first week you have the Bengals, excuse me, and then you've got the Steelers, Titans, Ravens, and a bye. So in that 4-game stretch, Bengals, Steelers, Titans, Ravens, I think 2-2 would be a very good mark to have. There's a lot of tough teams right there. If you can knock off the Bengals and the Steelers, but maybe the Titans kind of catch your number at home and a tough game against the Ravens, that wouldn't blow me away. Or you can kind of move the losses wherever you want. But if you're 2-2 after that stretch going into the bye, you are still very much in the thick of it. Coming out of the bye, 49ers, Colts, Seahawks, Cardinals, Ravens, Steelers. I'm going to say in the first 3 games right there of 49ers, Colts, Seahawks, 2-1 is the minimum, right? Maybe you go 3-0, but 2-1 is the minimum. So that gets you at 4 wins and 3 losses. And then the next 3 games, we're talking Cardinals, Ravens, Steelers. Again, 2-1 has to be the minimum. Whether that's splitting splitting Pittsburgh and Baltimore and beating the Cardinals, that gets you to 6 wins, 8 and 5. And then you can rattle off, 3 to 4 more wins right there, and you're at 11 to 12 wins. So after the first 10 games, I think 7-3, right? First 10 games, give me 7-3, 6-4, or 7-3 is the number I'm shooting. 6-4, I'm just kind of going in circles right now. But I hate record prediction. It's impossible to do this so far in advance. But first 5 to 10 games look like 10 games in, I'll go Browns 7-3. That was exhausting. I hate record predictions. King of the CLE. Any chance of signing Leonard Fournette still? I think the Browns could use an extra running back. Is there a chance? Sure, especially if Jerome Ford and Pierre Strong aren't looking like, the guys you want them to be. But I don't know if the Browns are all that interested in Leonard Fournette specifically. We can throw up his stats from last year. It was not a good year for Leonard Fournette. And the entire Buccaneers running game was atrocious. They got bailed out by the Rams for having a slightly worse ground game, if I recall correctly. I think Leonard Fournette's a big, recognizable name, and it's just going to look a lot cooler on paper going Nick Chubb and Leonard Fournette. How are you going to stop these two? And Leonard Fournette, the goal line would be awesome to kind of, lighten some of the touches for Nick Chubb and not take some of the big hits against the jumbo packages. So if the Browns sign Leonard Fournette, I won't be unhappy about it. But I think Andrew Berry ultimately wants to see how Jerome Ford and the guy he traded for, Pierre Strong Jr., look before going to the free agency market. But what do you think? Should the Browns sign a running back? Y for yes or N for no? Give me your honest opinion down below in the comment section. When it comes to signing a running back, I'm open to it, but I don't think it's going to happen unless, the Browns don't like what they see out of Ford or Pierre Strong Jr. and something happens to Nick Chubb. Chef Ruben with another super chat. 4 sacks, bro. Who's excited about this D? Woof. Yeah, I think this defense could really make a statement. I expect the defense to come out looking a little bit better in the first few weeks than the offense. That tends to be par for the course for a lot of teams as the offense kind of tries to catch up a little bit. But this defense under Jim Schwartz, they're going to be flying, baby. We got a $5 super chat coming in from Ray Bidding. I expect Myles Garrett and Za'Darius Smith to test Joey B's calf right away. I'm not quite sure how mobile Joe Burrow is going to be. I have never suffered a calf injury, so I don't know what that's like. But you're right. I don't think Joe Burrow is going to be able to maybe climb the pocket as well at times or extend plays. So if Garrett and Smith kind of beat their tackle and get that bend and get around the edge, it might be a little bit tougher for Burrow to step aside and avoid some of these guys. And it might be, if you can breathe on him, you're going to sack him. Now, before we get to the remaining questions on the show, we've got an awesome deal over at Fanatics. Go score this awesome Browns hoodie. 50% off. Chatsports.com/CLE hoodie. That link is right there in the comments and the description of today's show. I love this hoodie, and I think it's a great time to get a hoodie while it's on sale before the fall months really get here. Chris with a $5 super chat. Let's be honest. In 2023, the bar has been raised since 2020. To be an elite QB, will 2020 Watson be enough, or will he have to step up and reach new limits? Chris, I think we're kind of overarching getting at here is the top 10 listed quarterbacks in the NFL is a really good spot right now because there are so many great quarterbacks. Like the fact that Kirk Cousins, who we all make jokes about, is not a top 10 quarterback by all accounts right now. Like statistically, if you put him up against the 2012 QBs after Brady, Rivers, Roethlisberger, and Manning, he would, dance on Eli Manning's regular season grave. He'd be all over Jay Cutler and whatnot. But because of how loaded the quarterback class is right now and just the state of the NFL, you're right. Like, I think if Watson puts up the same numbers he did in 2020, he would be an elite quarterback. 4,800 plus yards, that's elite quarterback play. But maybe throwing for 4,000 yards doesn't cement you enough to be an elite quarterback in this day and age because there are a lot of guys like Jared Goff and Kirk Cousins who put up big-time numbers, but no one really thinks of them because how can you when you've got a long list of quarterbacks with Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Herbert, Lamar, Aaron Rodgers? We're already halfway to 10 right there. Trevor Lawrence, 7. So Watson will definitely have to put up big numbers to get back towards the top of the mountain. We got a first-time super chatter, $5 super chat coming in from Noah Scott. Do you see Luke Wypler being the swing guard and them allowing Nick Harris to be the backup? I think Michael Dunn is going to be your swing guard. I could see him being elevated on game days from the practice squad. Very curious to see what kind of role Luke Wypler has. But I do agree, Noah, that if something were to happen to Posick, I think Nick Harris would be the first guy off the bench and filling in at center. But Wypler, for now, I think they're trying to make him as versatile as possible. And maybe he gets some good running at guard. The good news is Joel Petonio, knock on wood, is an Iron Man. And hopefully Wyatt Teller gets back to being healthy. And we don't have to worry about replacing any of the guys up front. To wrap up the show, we are going to pick a card. Now, this might be the last card draw of the entire offseason, Trace.
Boo.
I know. It's sad to say out loud. Which card do you want to go with?
I'm going to go 4 of hearts for the last one.
4 of hearts?
Yep.
I'm going to go with... Give me King of Diamonds. What if I can hit it again on King of Diamonds?
I like it.
All right, King of Diamonds. One last cut. Queen of Hearts. No. That is tough. Tough. All right, that's going to do it for us on today's mailbag. Thank you so much for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we will see you guys on Sunday for Browns Bengals.